What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are enjoying your weekend. I had a little bit of time to look deeper into Boxed. It seems like some of you have a real interest in this and what's going on, which made me get a little bit curious, so I looked more into it. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes only, so let's be entertained. What I want to cover in this video is a little bit about the insiders, their position, their buying. I want to cover the options chain that we have, and then a little bit of TA on the charts as far as what I'm seeing, what could be possibilities. If that sounds like something you're interested in, if you don't mind, hit the like button while you're thinking about it, and I'll get into the video. So, where I'll start is with the insiders. We're always curious, what are the insiders doing? You know, if the insiders are buying, that's usually a great sign. If the insiders are selling, we get a little nervous. Why? Because they know the inner workings of the company. They know what's going on. They sit through those meetings. They know what the future vision is. They know how close they are to probably executing some sort of plan or where they expect their prices to be in general. So what I was looking at, the average insider share price is $3.55. This is where most of the insiders hold. That would be their average, their cost average. Andrew Pearson, the independent director, he was the last one that we know that purchased that was an insider at $1.81. That's what these purple lines are. So their average and where the last purchase was that we know of at this current time. What I like is that he knows what's going on, and he said, you know what, $1.81, I feel like that's a deal. I'm going to buy right here. So he jumped in, which appears to be a pretty nice decision on his part because it's holding up so far. So from there, I just played a hypothetical game. I said, what if other insiders follow suit and they're buying, you know, down here just to average down? That's what this red line is. This red line would be if every insider just averaged down their position, you know, totally right around this $1.81 level. They would be sitting around 267. So that's a hypothetical line, but I figured why not draw it because I like it. From here, obviously they're not selling because their average is at 355. That's not the only reason they're not selling. That's just, we have confidence below this line as of right now. We have extreme confidence under this line because it's hypothetical and we know that everybody hasn't averaged down their position. So the insiders are going to be holding right now. They hold about 8.5% of the shares total. So I do like below this line, my hypothetical line, 268 basically. And that gave me confidence, so I did take a very small position at $1.99 roughly. It was right around support resistance. I wanted to see what was going to happen off of this run. If you remember my first video, I said I wasn't getting up at 4 a.m. to chase this, to get into it, because after that kind of move, there's almost always a pullback, right? Nothing goes straight up. Straight down sometimes is a different story, but it did get that pullback, and I was just watching, and I didn't know anything about the company, so I was not about to throw my money into something that was just running. But we did get that pullback, which was expected, but is actually pretty nice because we see a nice cup forming. So I was looking at the strike prices. It made me think, where do we need to be to have any kind of help with the gamma side of things? Well, for the July 15th strikes, we got the $2.50 and the $5 calls. That's what I'm looking at right now. There's 21,000 that could be in the money if this thing's over $5, which would be absolutely amazing. We know we got a gap to fill up there, but I think that would just be a little bit too eager. Just from what I'm seeing right now, as some of you guys know, I'm not your moon boy. I'm not going to give you unrealistic expectations. Some of you like that, some of you don't. I want to throw realistic expectations because we momentum trade, right? We trade with the momentum. There's plenty of opportunities to make money in a play and to really get what you're looking for, and it doesn't have to go to $100 a share. You can easily swing that several times. Not everything's meant to be diamond-handed. You do what you want with your own account. So looking at those strike prices, you know, if we get that push above 250 and we're holding there, come July 15th. It's going to add a little bit of buying pressure, give us some of that gamma. Above $5 would be absolutely amazing. But I looked out a little bit further to the August 19th, and that chain's actually filling in really nice. It has a gap at $7.50 on the strike, the 750 strike. It looks a little weak. It looks like we have some realistic players that know in the money, at the money really is what fuels that fire. And then we got the other crowd that plays the lotto tickets. They play the highest strike price. Whether it's just because they don't care and they want to see what happens, or it's the only ones that they can afford, or they have 100% confidence it's going to happen and they just load up on the cheap ones. But it doesn't really do anything unless for some reason this thing explodes and gets into that kind of realm of reality. But whenever they're just too far out and we got a gap in the middle, it makes me wonder if it's going to actually get there. So right now I'm setting realistic expectations as to if we trend beautifully somewhere in the $5 range for now. And not saying it can't go to 100 or whatever your guys' thoughts are, but I'm not saying it is going to. Don't get that mistaken. Also, what I want to look at in the technicals is some of the setups that we have going on right now. So your awesome move that you guys had, you had a beautiful chance to make a ridiculous amount of money. You know, if you got in down here, how much do you need before you want to take your profits and then just watch the play? It's not like you can only buy once and you can only sell once. You can play this thing. You're not the only person that's going to be buying. You're not the only person that's going to be selling. You're not the only person that's going to be holding if that's what you want to do. Everybody trades differently. But momentum trading is what I like to focus on because there's so many different opportunities that you don't have to sit here and say, I got in at $2 and now I got to wait for it to go to 100. You don't have to. You just don't. Look at all these opportunities. There's tons of opportunities. So we're just going to look at the technicals. As of right now, some of you might be saying, look at that cup and handle. That looks awesome. But we also want to play both sides, right? We want to play devil's advocate. Is it a cup and handle? I would say, yeah, this is probably where most of our support and resistance came in. So could that be the top of a cup? And is it forming a handle? It absolutely could be. But we also want to just be prepared because as of right now, if we drew a trend line coming down, it's obviously falling. You can see it's falling. It's not perfect because I had this drawn on a longer time frame, but it is coming lower. So that also means you got to watch this handle. Is this handle going to bounce in the channel or is it going to follow this trend? So we don't know until we see what this handle does. I do think there's going to be a little bit more pullback, probably down to at least 230 before we see that bounce possibly. So watch it. You know, it's like I said, it's nothing you have to chase. There's plenty of different opportunities to find setups that are going to be strong or going to be weak. Let's just see what it does from here. Is it going to bounce in this wedge? Is it going to bounce off of here as support and come up here into this channel? We don't really know yet. We just have to see how this forms out. So keep an eye on it is the best that I can say. It could very well play out as a cup and handle because I would almost agree that this is considered a cup and handle, but I would also argue that really this was the top. So we have to see what happens. I can't tell you, but what I do like is that it's still sitting below this hypothetical. If everybody insider averaged down, they're sitting at 268. I like to be below insiders. I like to be close to insiders because they are going to be underwater holding a bag with me if I am. So that's about all that I have for right now. I did do a little bit more, but I'm sure this video went long because I didn't have any notes and I wasn't 100% sure just how much I could cover, but it is the weekend. You guys have a little bit of time to kill, so if you got your AirPods in and you're just sitting on the couch listening, then I hope you enjoyed it. Right now, let's look at a couple other things while I have you. On the 1 hour, we got the cross up. On the 4-hour, we are still a little bit away from getting that cross up. So I think it could probably just float around here for a little bit longer, and we'll see if we get the cross up there to get some explosive moves. So in my overall vision, I see this probably either just consolidating, floating for a little bit in this channel, and then as this 4-hour crosses up, we'll see as some bigger moves come into play. Everybody, this is just profit taking on Friday. I wouldn't be too concerned or worried about that. It happens. But thank you again all for coming back, watching the video. If you don't mind, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you wish. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.